So what is going to happen to America right now? It is November the 5th. Remember, the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. There is no reason why the 5th of November should ever be forgot. So Thursday, right? Thursday, 1:44. It's actually an hour. So about 1 o'clock, November 5th, 2020. This is 2 days after the election. Who is president? We still don't know, but it was the straw poll. December 14th is the real election, so we'll see what happens on December 14th. Now, I'm pretty shocked that America seems to be half Nazi, a bunch of fucking fascist fucking pieces of shit. My God, Sacha Baron Cohen Boebert shows not only, can we be a hateful people, but even worse, we're an indifferent people. We're indifferent. America might be half Nazi. Okay, so, that's terrible. I don't see much hope on the national scene, but here in Colorado, where we have all this democracy, we got referendums, we got initiatives. I don't know about the gray wolves, but we just got ourselves some family medical leave. We got Jared Polis here. We got Steve Romero. We got Alonzo Payne. I'm not for sure what's going to happen to America, but Colorado is going to be okay. Colorado is going to be okay. So, Lauren Boebert. Let's talk about Lauren Boebert. Who is this representative? She just beat Diane Bush. We didn't have a good conversation. We didn't have a debate. It was already, a leaning red. It's got Pueblo and Castilla, but she just isn't going to represent Pueblo and Castilla. She's not going to represent any left-wing progressive idea. She thinks that it might be somewhat progressive. She's going to have, she's going to push us as far back as we could possibly see. So Lauren Boebert, she tweets, "What you see is what you get." Right? Let's just start. Okay, so what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. Well, Lauren Boebert, you look like a shit-talking, dingy, white trash Floridian fascist. Dumb shit. That's what you look like to me. You look like Candace Owens in whiteface. You're a right-wing extremist, a right-wing radical. Now, Lauren Boebert, she said that she jumped into the race once she found out that Scott Tipton had a meeting with AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, right? So Scott Tipton had a meeting with AOC, right? So Lauren Boebert saying she's not going to work with AOC at all, right? She ain't going to talk to her. She ain't going to look at her. She'll give like a bunch of mean looks at her and shit. She did joke that she would Jello wrestle. She would wrestle AOC in Jello. So there you go, Boebert. You go, girl. Just titillating men like that. Oh, that little bit like that. You're going to Jello wrestle AOC. Oh, okay. But Lauren Boebert, this shows you how far right-wing, radical, extremist piece of crap she is. She says, what? Just a meeting? Scott Tipton's a Republican. She ran against the Republican because he had a meeting with one of his colleagues. There's only 400 people in Congress. You got to work with all these people. So she's like, well, Scott Tipton had a meeting with AOC, and I was like, I've had it. It's enough. And I had to jump into the race. Yeah, bullshit. You wanted power, and you made up a fucking reason. But that just shows you how far left, how far right-wing Lauren Boebert is. AOC, right, she's a person, she's a human being, but just treating her like a human, just a meeting. Just Scott Tipton having a meeting with AOC was too far left-wing for old Lauren Boebert. 94% of the time is how much Scott Tipton voted with the Donald Trump with, 94% of the times rank and file not, and Lauren Boebert says that's not enough. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be supportive of the president, Lauren Boebert's just going to get right up there in Donald's asshole. She's just going to cake herself right there below the schmegma. She is just going to cradle old Donald all the way to, wherever the hell, they're leading us. We don't know. Hitler led us, straight to suicide. He was a suicidal, empty, vessel, just a hollowed husk of a human. So he wasn't leading anybody anywhere. He was, sick in the head, sick of himself, sick from inside out, and he was a coward. He was an absolute coward. Instead of going out like a man fighting, just like, the Hitler Youth would have gone out like a man, but not Hitler. Nope, not old single-testicle Hitler. Old single-testicle Hitler just sat in a bunker and just, he didn't even shoot himself. He got, old Eva Braun, he couldn't even kill himself. That's how weak he was. He couldn't even kill himself. But Lauren Boebert's a right-wing radical psychotic extremist. She's a right-wing extremist. Okay, she's partial to Nazis, a Nazi apologist, might be a full-blown Nazi, not for sure. She loves fascism, so she's a fascist, through and through. Lauren Boebert, she says that the left is attacking her all the time, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So Lauren Boebert automatically the left is attacking me, donate some money. So she uses this shit. Oh, hey, look, they're attacking me. But you know why? You know why she gets attacked from the left? Because she attacks the left. She attacks the progressives, the socialists, even the neoliberals. They should be criticized, but her criticism doesn't work. But they should, she attacks the left, and then when the left attacks, and it's not attacks is like a violent attack. It's a criticism. So let's use, specific rhetoric, but the left criticizes me all the time. This is what Lauren Boebert's like. Oh my God, the left criticizes me so much. I don't know why. Well, why don't you think about it, Lauren Boebert? Why don't you tell us why you think the left criticizes you? Because I criticize the left, and I hate the left so much, and the left is stupid, and they're just stupid, and I hate them. Okay, no, that's exactly right, Lauren Boebert. So now that you know what it is, how can you change? How can you change and make it better? I don't know. Maybe I could hate them more? Is that? Lauren Boebert doesn't represent me. She doesn't represent Pueblo. She doesn't represent Castilla. She doesn't represent the entire 3rd District. She only represents the base of the Republicans. So what you see is what you get. Okay, so you look like a shit-talking, dingy, white trash Floridian racist. She was born in white trash Florida. Lauren Boebert's a carpetbagger. She's not even a native Coloradan. She wasn't even born. She's born up in Denver. So this city-slicking, white trash Floridian, regressive asshole, Lauren Boebert, she's going to get rid of the Department of Education. She hates higher education. I wonder, did she even go to college? Why does she think she knows anything? So Freedom One, this is what Lauren Boebert's going to say, and this is my biggest criticism for Lauren Boebert. Apparently freedom is just guns, but there's more about freedom than just guns. We also have, freedom of speech, right to assemble, and, about, 70 other freedoms besides guns. So I'm happy that, freedom is a big thing, and I hope she does defend the Second Amendment. Now, what she means when she says freedom one is that socialism is the biggest enemy to Lauren Boebert. Oh my God, these socialism, healthcare is socialized medicine, public schools is socialized books, and roads are just socialized rocks and pavements. So anything the government spends, she doesn't want the government to spend any money on the people whatsoever. No money whatsoever should be spent on the. So she's going to try to dismantle any and all social programs that are out there. And where there's a lot of glut, there's a lot of extra. The whole point is she needs to bring home the bacon, and it doesn't sound like she's trying to bring home any bacon. She might bring home a little bit, but when it comes to health care, when it comes to education, when it comes to child care, these are things that all over the world, Sweden, Finland, Germany, even Canada, and these are the happiest countries in the world, and for, obvious reasons. They don't have to worry about their health care, and they don't have to worry about their education and their child care. It's all taken care of. Colorado just passed the Family Medical Leave Act, so we're taking care of our kids now, and hopefully we'll get to universal health care and we'll get to universal education. But we're actually, my little pothead state, Colorado, is all grown up. It's all grown up, right? We got family, medical leave. That's child care. We're taking care of our babies here. We're taking care of our children here in Colorado. But Lauren Boebert is going to, she would be against that. She's against, philosophically, she's just opposed to any social program. So not just food stamps, but libraries and, just go down the list. Libraries, roads, fire department, police, da-da-da-da-da. So this is, what my point is, she says, freedom one, freedom from what? I want freedom from her ignorance. I want more freedom. If I had my health care, it's insane in America that you could go bankrupt if you get a higher education. You could go bankrupt if you go to the hospital to get an operation that you desperately need in order to live. We are guaranteed the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But life, health care is life. She's against our lives. She's against our lives. So a nation should care about the health and the welfare of its people. They should care about the mind, body, and soul of its people. Is your people smart? Is your people educated? Is your people healthy? These are important things. You need to care about your people. The 3rd District of Colorado, she needs to care about the 3rd Congressional District. The people of education is your mind, healthcare is your body. Mind, body, and soul. And so, when it comes to Finland, Sweden, Germany, Canada, she wants to sit there and say that freedom won. I believe that my freedom is increased when I don't have to worry about health care, education, and child care cost. My freedom, I have more freedom when I know that my child can get an education and can go to the hospital if they get sick or if they get a broken arm, or they can go, they can get higher education, whether they're poor or whether they're rich. That's the kind of nation that I want. She's going to get rid of the Department of Education, which means no college for anybody in the 3rd Congressional District. So the social programs, I believe, increases our freedom. So she doesn't understand freedom whatsoever. I doubt she knows all the freedoms of the Constitution. And, hopefully she does protect the Second Amendment. I am a pro-Second Amendment progressive, but that's because progressives need guns too. But she's a regressive. She's a proud regressive, white trash, Floridian piece of crap. She's a low-life piece of crap. She's a terrible person inside and out. AOC isn't, I'm going to, let's see her and AOC talk. I would love to see. If she just has one single meeting, then that means there's going to be another right-winger that's going to have to, run against her and, replace her, because you're not allowed to have a meeting with AOC. You're not even allowed to talk to AOC. Even if AOC agrees with, 90% of all your legislation, you can't even talk to her. So, yeah, Lauren Boebert, this is, she's basically just a sick-in-the-head, right-wing psychopath. And if it seems like it might be a little progressive, it might, make the lives of the 3rd Congressional District better, she's going to go against it. She's going to go against it. She's the kind of woman that's going to allow her pit bulls just to run around the neighborhood. She's the kind of woman that's going to open up a restaurant and then give a bunch of people, food poisoning. Miss Poison Pork Sliders. She also bubbles that she's multiracial, right? Miss Lauren Boebert, she's Miss Poison Pork Slider. She's Pocahontas, huh? Man, I bet it's been tough to be just a poor black woman, like, just having the poor black, woman lifestyle. I bet it's been real tough for Lauren Boebert. Bullshit. She's white as fuck. She gets all the goddamn privileges. She wants global warming to keep warming up the temperatures around here. Maybe that'll help with the snowpack, right? Lauren Boebert made a black people likes hot sauce joke, so that's very Hillary Clinton-esque. And also kind of shows you she's not, above making fun of black folks, so she's got some racialist jokes. Is anybody going to, say anything to her about this type of shit? Freedom won, right? No, Lauren Boebert. Freedom lost. Freedom lost. I want family medical leave. I want child care. I want education. I want health care. And I want the government to pay for all that. And then the way I think about, I'm a liberal conservative. I'm a social anarchist. And so the way I think about the spectrum is that our basic necessities, we have a right to life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. So that means if you're born in America, which is all it takes to be an American, you was born on this soil, then your life should be taken care of. If you're sick, go to the hospital. You don't want, somebody's sickness, their disease spreading all over the place. She's anti-vaxxer, so she doesn't mind everybody spreading their shit all over the place. She's all about, let's just hug and do this and do that. And, I believe having some precautions, not getting everybody sick. I don't hate the mask, I'll be honest, and I don't want to do the mask forever, but Lauren Boebert, she's just, freedom won, right? Freedom to what? Freedom to what? God's going to protect us without the mask. What about without guns? So she'll protect the Second Amendment. I agree with the Second Amendment. Progressives need guns too, especially from gun nuts like Lauren Boebert. So she's not a progressive. She's going to run away from any kind of progress whatsoever. Last but not least, her advertisements, she's a right-wing radical extremist. She keeps on criticizing Antifa. She keeps on criticizing the anti-fascist. Okay, hey, Lauren Boebert, in World War II, which side would you have been on? Hey, Lauren Boebert, and during World War II, when we fought the fascist Nazi pieces of shit, which side would you have been on? Would you have been on the side of America, the United States of America, who was fighting the good fight We have 3 holy wars in this war, in our history: the American Revolution, the Civil War, and World War II. Where are you at on the War of 1812? What about the Korean War? What about the Syrian War? Where are you at on any of these other wars? If you think the holy wars are wrong, this is ridiculous. She's going to sit there and say the greatest generation. She's shitting and pissing all over the greatest generation. The people that came home from World War II, those were the heroes. We fought against Nazi Germany. We fought against the fascists. They exterminated Jewish people and, Poles and Eastern Europeans, communists, liberals, anybody that, was weak and vulnerable. So they were terrible. They exterminated people like they didn't fucking matter. So, Lauren Boebert's a fascist through and through. Lauren Boebert wants to, hate Antifa, it's just an idea. And you hate the idea of being anti-fascist. So the fact that Lauren Boebert is a fascist, right-wing piece of shit, that's not freedom, Lauren Boebert. That's a boot in the face of humanity. That's 1984. She's an anti-vaxxer, anti-Department of Education, hates social spending, hates anti-fascist, so she's a fascist. Freedom won? No, Lauren Boebert. Freedom lost. Freedom lost. Fascism won with you. Freedom lost. Social spending lost. Our health, our education, and our children, that lost. The way I understand the spectrum is that our basic life, necessities should be guaranteed: food, water, clothing, shelter. Past that, it's capitalism. Then it's dog eat dog. But you're going to sit there and starve the people and then say, nah, it's all fair, even though you got all the food, water, clothing, and shelter you need. The people need all the stuff that they need in order to live. We're all the same. Food, water, clothing, shelter. We all need these things. We all need these things. So if you have a social program, if you have a government that provides these things, then we can, live and enjoy each other's, lives, because none of us are going to die. But here in America, you either work or die. You either get yours or you starve to death off to the side. And that's, dog-eat-dog capitalism. You're a de facto capitalist regardless. There's no socialism to speak of. This is also another thing. Lauren Boebert's fucking psycho. What a fucking crazy person. AOC is like the first, decent progressive that's ever been. And yet she's going to sit there and say it's AOC that's going to tear everything apart, tear everything asunder. Lauren Boebert is the reactionary. She's a reactionary regressive. They're afraid of AOC, so they went overboard. They went above and beyond. The fucking right wing is so scared of honesty, decency. The hippies, oh no, the hippies are coming back. The hippies, the dirty hippies were right. Let's just, chill out and sing some music and play songs and, smoke some weed. The hippies were right. The hippies were right. So the fact that Lauren Boebert's going to, just like fucking Donald, he wants to hate the Antifa, the anti-fascist people. And you heard what Donald said, that the anti-fascists could, topple Joe Biden too, which just shows you that, the anti-fascist, it's not about the person, it's not about the party, it's about you being a fascist, violent fascist piece of shit. Those people who want to start trouble, stay the fuck over there. Those who want to, enjoy each other's company and just peace, love, harmony, just feel each other's vibes and shit, that's the people that I want to hang out with. The people that want to be assholes and shitty to others and boss each other around and, do as I say or else violence is going to happen. Lauren Boebert would have been on the side of Nazi Germany. Lauren Boebert would have been firing on the side, shooting at the American troops. So would Donald Trump. They hate anti-fascist. Americans were the anti-fascists in World War II, and that's a holy war. That's a war that I am proud of as an American. I'm proud that we fucking conquered Nazi Germany. I'm proud that we, conquered Confederate fucking slave owning South, and I'm glad that we overthrew the British redcoats. As an American, I feel good about those wars because the ends and it was a good fucking deal. But these fucking pricks. So I don't know if Lauren Boebert is a Hitler apologist and Nazi apologist or just full-blown Nazi herself, but I do know that you looked at the history of all the fucking people in the world and you landed on Adolf Hitler. He's a smart man, huh? Yeah, so many heroes to choose from, right? You got, Malcolm X, you got Abraham Lincoln, you got Muhammad Ali, Frederick Douglass. Hell, even, you got some progressive Republicans. You have Teddy Roosevelt, and yet you picked Hitler. You picked up Mein Kampf and said, hell, this 1930s fucking philosophy in Germany is what works for you. Yeah, you're a racist, low-life, hateful piece of shit. You're a fascist. Boebert doesn't give a fuck about you. She doesn't give a fuck about you. She doesn't hate AOC because, AOC done something to her. She hates AOC because AOC represents hope for the poor and the working class. So Lauren Boebert's going to do everything against the poor and the working class, and she'll expect you to respect her, but she won't respect anybody. She'll never come to Castilla County. It doesn't. They're not going to talk to you. They won't reach out to you. She's going to do whatever the hell she wants to do, whether you agree with it or not. So just, as a system, she's our representative. So when you have an issue, when you have a problem, she's the person you're supposed to go to and talk about the problems. The thing about, American representation is just that it's so... I didn't have any representation with Scott Tipton. Now that Lauren Boebert's in there, forget about it. Nobody's going to have any representation. Even right-wingers aren't going to have any, representation. But definitely any Democrat, liberal, any person that might be a progressive, anybody that has a progressive thought, anybody that says, hey, I have a progressive idea that can move this district forward. I got an idea that will move our society forward. Lauren Boebert's going to be against that. So I just, let's just know who our representatives are. 3rd, District of Colorado, that's who your representative is. And I feel terrible. I feel awful because this is, my representative to America is going to be some piece of crap that doesn't give a fuck about me or poor people or anybody in general, me, my family, my friends, nobody in our neighborhood. She don't give a fuck about us. She don't care about you. She don't care about you. She ain't a good person. And I'd like to know if she likes Hitler. I'd like to know her beliefs on Nazi Germany. I'd like to know what she thinks about Nazi Germany, frankly. I don't think anybody vetted her. AOC got vetted, right? But nobody vetted her. MSNBC should. She's the right-wing AOC. So, yeah, sad day for Colorado. We got ourselves a right-wing extremist AOC. Well... peace anyways.